What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's having a good evening after that game. Um, don't have a whole lot to say. Pretty disappointed in the outcome. Um, I see Niner Faithful in the chat says I literally was frozen in pain after Jimmy threw the interception. Yeah, I don't even know where to start other than to say if this had vibes of the Super Bowl, I don't know what did. But 10-point lead going into the fourth quarter, and you can't figure out a way to hold it. Just very disappointing. One thing that was apparently clear in this game, and I don't know if you guys noticed it, was just the fact that the Niners' uh, offensive line and defensive line just got whooped all day. No pass rush at all game, other than like a third down sack by Samson Ebukam on Matt Stafford. Just nothing. There was no pressure whatsoever. Um, Offensive line played abysmal. Anytime Jimmy needed to throw the ball, he really didn't have much time. Jimmy did look jittery though, so it's not completely all on the offensive line. I don't understand how you can't get a couple passes away at the end of the game like that. There's just no way. I don't know if you max protect, whatever you got to do. Um, it just inexcusable for the offensive line and defensive line to just not show up in this game. Yeah, you feel bad for Debo Samuel. Um, he puts his heart and soul into this team. He does so much for this team. He is the heart and soul of the 49ers. And it's just not fair for a guy like that. Um, as far as the Rams go, I don't know. I mean, like, I'll give them credit for everything that they did in the game, but anytime a team buys a championship instead of earning it, um, I just don't know. I just don't know. It's hard for me. So I'm definitely pulling for the Bengals at this point, just because they built their team the right way. They built it through the draft and through uh built it through the draft and built it through, the right kind of free agency picks. But a team that kind of builds through free agency, I don't have as much respect for. But they played the better game. Matt Stafford, other than the interception early on, looked pretty flawless. We could all talk about it now. We all saw it. Jaquaski Tart dropped an interception that's going to live in 49ers fans' minds for a really long time. Was right there in your hands, and you couldn't make the interception. There's really no excuse for that. That would have changed the game. You would have thought. I mean, the Niners were moving the ball here and there throughout the game, so you thought, that might change the game or change the momentum. But somehow, some way, he dropped the interception, and the Niners, they ended up allowing the team to tie the game, and then, they did pretty well on defense to stop them and force them to kick a field goal. I thought the Niners might have a chance to move down the field, but they had absolutely no rush in this game on defense, and their offensive line played abysmal. So, football's won and lost in the trenches. You win it with the offensive line and the defensive line, and the Niners came up short in both aspects. So props to the Rams. Like I said, I rather cheer for a team that builds their team the right way. But the fact of the matter is, they finally got us. Took them 7 tries, but they finally beat us. The Niners, I don't think they were expected to get this far this year with the way their team was constructed. But at the same time, once your team gets here, that's out the window. So definitely disappointed. All that talk about Jimmy Garoppolo and, how clutch he is at certain times and this, that, and the other. It really didn't. When they needed him in this game, he wasn't able to make plays. So I feel like that argument's definitely out the window now. This is the Trey Lance era. It's time to move on. It's hard for me to really articulate what I want to say right now because I'm really kind of not sad, just kind of disappointed in what game they picked to really play really bad offense and defensive line. Offensive line was just abysmal in this game. They couldn't block. Defensive line was, I mean, Stafford had all day to throw at all times. Cooper Kupp killed us. Odell Beckham Jr. killed us, which, guys are going to get theirs. Good players are going to get theirs. You can't stop everything. But the fact that the Niners weren't able to get consistent rush all game definitely hurt them. So, say what you want, but it was a fourth quarter choke, just like the Super Bowl. It's funny. This franchise was known at one point for being able to win at all cost, whether it was close or a blowout in the Super Bowl. And now with the Kyle Shanahan era, they're kind of being known as a team that kind of chokes opportunities away. Kind of like Andy Reid was for a while. He was the guy that couldn't win it. He would choke it away. Couldn't do it in clutch time. But fact of the matter is, man, when your number is called and your opportunity is there, you got to make plays. It's funny. I'm watching a documentary with Joe Montana, and he talked about how he loved those times in the game where they were down and he had a chance to win it. He said it was fun. I don't get that with some players, especially with Jimmy. I don't get the sense that it's fun for him at the end of the game or in pressure-packed games. He looks nervous. He looks not at ease at all. If you watch everybody in the beginning of the game with all the dancing and the happiness, Jimmy was the only one that looked scared or nervous. So pretty disappointed. I know the Niners started 3-5 this year and they fought their way back, but at the end of the day, they didn't win it. Nobody remembers the losers, man. Only the winners. So you wonder if the Niners are going to take a step back next year because of the rookie quarterback. I mean, it's expected. That's why so bad I wanted them to try to do it this year, just for the simple fact that with the kid playing next year, he's going to have some struggles and he's going to definitely, make his mistakes. And so, if they could get it this year and then next year, if they took a step back, it wouldn't be so bad. But now that they're going to probably transition into the Trey Lance era, it's going to be difficult. I'm going to put this up here from Jello Smooth. Nice name, by the way. He said, WTF, the Rams loaded up on the run. We were afraid to pass. Bill Walsh used to pass to set up. Yeah. This has always been this team under Garoppolo and Shanahan. Shanahan doesn't trust Garoppolo in certain times of the game. When teams take away the run, the Niners have a hard time really scoring points, and it showed up in this game as well. The Niners are a run-first team. They're a, what do you call a front-runner team. I think my team's a front-runner team, I feel like the Niners are at their best when they're able to run the ball and kind of control the clock. The play-action games in use. Kyle goes in his bag and makes plays, and they're able to move the ball effectively down the field. When the teams are able to shut down the run, the Niners look like they have zero answers. Sometimes they try to force it where it's not. And, it's just, I don't know. This team with Jimmy at quarterback, they're just not built to go throw for throw with a guy like Matt Stafford. So the Rams game plan was to shut down the run and make Jimmy beat them. And that was the best call. I mean, Jimmy couldn't beat them. The offensive line played bad, but Jimmy had some throws. He had the miss to George Kittle early in the game. He had a couple nice throws. He had the nice throw to Kittle in the end zone. But if you notice, a lot of the passes were screen passes, not a lot of stuff to stretch the defense other than the one down the left sideline. So, Brick Levish, you said it best. The Niners offense is so limited with Jimmy. It's paralyzing. Yeah, it's horizontal offense. It's horizontal offense. It's not vertical. Everything is sideline to sideline within a 10 to 15 yard block. That's how the Niners offense is with him. Say what you want about when Kaepernick played, but Kaepernick could stretch the field with his arm. Whether you liked him or not, I wasn't the biggest fan down the stretch with him, but at first, when he first came onto the team, that's the one thing that he could do. He could push the ball down the field. Same thing with Trey Lance. With Jimmy, I know he was injured. I know he had some issues, but, if you're able to play, man, there's no excuses. There's no excuses for poor play. So I really don't have any. I don't feel real bad for that. It's funny. I had a pregame stream this past week with a couple different people. I did a live a roundtable with Jack Hammer, Rob Shue, and Jesse Naylor, and we talked about, or at least I talked about, that the offense and defensive line were going to be the key to this game. And boy, was I 100% on. I didn't think I was going to be. Games have a way of playing out, differently than what we predict. But for the most parts, this game played out pretty much the way I thought it was going to play. Rams were able to move the ball. They didn't score a lot of points, but they moved the ball at will, especially through the pass. And the Niners did nothing to really stop it. They didn't blitz much. They put Stafford on his butt a couple times in this game, but it wasn't good enough. They couldn't get enough pressure when it mattered. Cooper Kupp and both, like I said, Odell Beckham both killed him. Doesn't matter who your corners are, guys. If you don't have any pass rush, it doesn't really matter. You could have Jalen Ramsey out there, but if your guys have to cover for 5, 6, 7 seconds, it's not going to work out. Sweet Tooth Jay said Kyle is too safe of a play caller, and that's why we lose. I can agree with that. But look who he has at his quarterback. I mean, listen, I'll give Jimmy props for coming up clutch during certain games during the regular season. There's no question. But on a consistent basis, especially in the playoffs when we need him, he's came up small almost every time. Both playoffs games leading up to the Super Bowl in 2019, he barely threw. In the Super Bowl, he couldn't make the throws when it mattered. Here, I mean, it had a lot to do with the offensive line, but, that interception at the end, I know he was trying to make a play, but live to play for fourth down, guys. I don't know. Niners going to have some decisions to make on their team with the cap. They're not going to have that much money left. I think they're going to only have like 30 some odd players on the team under contract. So the Niners are definitely going to have a lot of decisions to be made. Scott Davidson, thanks for the $5 super chat. As Scott says, imagine if the Niners had gotten Stafford. I mean, he threw his pick early in the game. It didn't really come back to haunt them at the end. You could say that he almost had a fumble too, but that ended up being an incomplete pass. But yeah, when it mattered most, he made the throws that counted. Like I said, they're built through free agents, that team. So sometimes I'm not the biggest fan of that. It's kind of like the Yankees, even though I grew up a Yankees fan. A lot of teams don't like when teams buy their championship. And I understand that, super teams, whatever you want to call it. But the fact of the matter is they still won. They were the better team. The whole red out thing, the Niners did well. I don't know where these crowd shots were coming from, where they were showing Rams players in the Rams fans in the crowd, because I didn't see it. The fan base there in LA, it's just to me, it's just so phony baloney, because you got all these famous people that don't care about sports. They're just there because they're Leonardo DiCaprio or whoever. But I think that's what makes it hurt more than it would, is when you lose to kind of like a franchise or a team that is kind of like not one of those nitty gritty, like all-time teams like the Steelers or the Niners. Teams that have won multiple Super Bowls, the Redskins, the Washington football team, just teams that have a lot of lore, the Raiders. And then you lose to a team that's got Leonardo DiCaprio in a freaking booth, just not even paying attention to the game. It's just makes it suck, Win or lose, Niner faithful, I'm proud how we made it this far despite the 3-5 start. This one's going to hurt for a while. Go Niners. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. It's definitely going to hurt. Doesn't matter if we started slow. The fact that we got this far and didn't close the deal, it sucks. It's funny. I actually picked the Niners to win this game somewhat going away, which is something I never do. And that didn't happen. So needless to say, I'm going to stay out of the prediction game, guys, just from now on. Brick Lavish says the defensive back will need some personnel changes. Tart cannot cover or catch. Yeah, I don't know if Tart's coming back, to be honest with you, Brick. So we will see. I think Jimmy Ward is signed, but I don't think Tart is. Don't really have much to say on that dropped interception, guys. I'm pretty at loss for words. I mean, that literally was thrown right to him, and he couldn't make the play. So, Brick Lavish said, I feel the worst for Debo. He played his heart out this year for this team. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. Those are the players you feel the worst for, is the players that put their body on the line and take all sorts of physical punishment. I mean, he got freaking blasted early in this game. You know, Jimmy threw one of his famous hospital balls, and yet he came back and you know, made plays in the game. He scored a touchdown, and I don't know, man. You know, I'm not saying that this team can't win a championship with the way they're currently constructed as far as like certain players, but your opportunities don't come too often in this league, and you got to take advantage of those opportunities when you get there. The Niners have had, in 3 years, they've had 2 opportunities, a crack at it, and they've come up short. Yeah, this one was in the championship game, but still, you have only so many opportunities to get a championship before your window closes. So it'll be interesting to see what direction the Niners take next year, because like I said, they're going to struggle at times with Trey Lance. It's just a given. He's literally going to be a rookie quarterback playing his first year next year because he has no experience other than like 2 games. So you're going to go through a lot of ups and downs. That's why I said winning a championship this year was so important if we could. And the fact that we were that close to going to the Super Bowl, and we just, when it mattered most, we couldn't pass block, we couldn't rush the passer. It's tough. It's tough to stomach. I have a fellow YouTuber, a Ram YouTuber, Peo Time. I just want to say props to him for his team getting to the Super Bowl. I might not be a big fan of the whole Hollywood aspect of their team and the way they're constructed and all that stuff, but he's a good dude, and I'm glad his team's in there. Unfortunately, I'm rooting for the Bengals, so sorry about that, but that's just how it works sometimes. The truth hurts says y'all should have won. Yeah. Yes, we should have. The truth hurts says that dropped interception could have changed the game and the Niners probably would have won. Yeah. I mean, that was literally like a center field pop fly, right? And he dropped it. Why? I don't understand. The dropped interception could have changed the game. Yep. You were right. You are right. It definitely could have changed the game, but we didn't come through when it mattered. So I want you guys in the comments, if you can, tell me what your biggest issue was with this game. Was it play calling? Was it defensive scheme as far as rushing the passer? Was it Kyle's play calling? Let me know down in the comments. Brick Lavish says, don't be surprised if the Niners bring in a vet quarterback and possible even start him over Trey Lance. I don't know about that. The vet part, yes. Having him start over Trey, I don't think so. Nah. I'm not saying, you know, I'm not yelling at you. I'm just saying for the amount of draft capital they've spent, I don't see it happening. I mean, if it was someone like, say, I'm trying to think, he played for the Bills. I don't know if he even plays quarterback in the league anymore. Fitzpatrick, someone like that, maybe. But other than that, I wouldn't see it happening. Niner Faithful, let's get Debo and Bosa their money and get Jimmy off this team. Yeah, I think that's a foregone conclusion, Niner Faithful, that's going to happen. So I wouldn't sweat it too much. It's going to be a kind of a sucky offseason for us, just the fact that we got this far and we couldn't seal the deal. So I'm definitely disappointed. Definitely disappointed. Niner Faithful, 3 plays were very frustrating, and the drops to interception hurt bad. 3 pass plays. Yeah, I just don't understand how you can't muster up any type of protection on those plays. Nothing. Move the freaking pocket. Bootleg. Something. A waggle. I don't understand how you think you're going to just stand there against Von Miller and Floyd and Aaron Donald and think that they're not going to get any type of pressure. So I like this one. Pussyfish says, let's see Stafford get traded to the Niners and bring two different teams to the bowl in back-to-back years. Yeah, don't think that's going to happen. He's there for a couple of years. Niner Fetzel says, let's build up the secondary and O-line in the offseason and draft. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Those are two things I've talked about at nauseum. Niner Faithful, they got to build up this secondary, bring in a veteran. My issue with them in this game, though, as bad as their pass defense was, is the fact that they just couldn't get any rush. They rushed for most of the game. And I don't know what it is with this team, but they just have this inability to adjust sometimes when they need to in playoff games like the Super Bowl or the NFC Championship game, and it came back to bite them in the ass. Scott Davidson says, I think Lance plays this game, we win. I'm not a Jimmy hater, but we needed the mobility. Yeah, definitely. I don't know if we would have won, but I would have yeah, his mobility would have definitely helped. Jimmy was like a sitting duck back there. He didn't have much going on in the pass protection game. So, but it's, it's woulda, coulda, shoulda at this point, Scott. You got to make plays when it matters. And the Niners didn't do that. What's going on, Micah? Childhood friend in the chat says defense wins championships. He's right. He's right. Our defense was good all year, but when it mattered most, they came up small. Niners pass rush was non-existent. I think over like the past 3 games, they had like 15 sacks. So they were getting like 5 sacks a game. And they came in this game and did absolutely nothing. I don't understand what happened. We literally played this team 3 weeks ago and had 5 sacks. And we got, what, 1 from Samson Ebukam on 3rd down to force him to kick a field goal, which was huge. But the fact of the matter is we needed it through the whole game, and no one got home. Bosa, Armstead, DJ Jones, you name it. Nobody got home. So, yeah, as much as you can build up the secondary, if you don't have a pass rush, it really doesn't matter. So hopefully the Niners can get themselves maybe another veteran pass rusher this offseason. They seem to be good in the later rounds in the draft, especially. That's where they get a lot of their, like Kittle and Dre Greenlaw, players like that. So definitely look for the mid to late rounds to see if the Niners could land maybe like a speed rusher. But you got to get home on the quarterback. And it's with a guy like him with the receivers that they have. I mean, Higbee went out of the game and they were still dicing us. Cooper Kupp is pretty much uncoverable. K'Wan Williams could not cover him whatsoever. K'Wan is horrible in man-to-man coverage. He's a better zone corner. But like Micah said, yeah, no pass rush killed us. You gotta get home. I think we got a Rams fan in here or a Vikings fan, not sure, but he says, nah, hey, goodbye. Yeah, you're funny. Hey, we'll take it. Still have more championships than the Rams, so doesn't matter. But yeah, whatever. I just didn't understand how you don't get Kittle the ball in this game, too. The Niners did their absolute worst in trying to get George Kittle the ball in this game, other than that touchdown. I don't know. Kyle Shanahan, to me, is a coach that plays afraid not to lose, as opposed to a coach who plays to win. He's so protective of his quarterback position. Now, I understand why. I mean, Jimmy is what he is and can't deliver in the clutch in the postseason, but you got to let your quarterback make plays sometimes, and he wasn't able to do that in this game. Should have traded for Kirk Cousins. Nah, Kirk is Jimmy 2.0. He's slightly more accurate, but did the Vikings do anything this year? No, they didn't do anything. I'm not a Kirk Cousins fan. Kirk Cousins and Jimmy are literally the same player. Kirk might actually be a little bit more reliable and healthy, but yeah. Troll Heyman says Jimmy just limits the team so much. Yeah. I mean, this isn't all on Jimmy this game. Defense could not get any rush. Offensive line couldn't block. And Jimmy came up small when it mattered. But honestly, a lot of that had to do with the fact that he didn't have time to throw. You got all these weapons, Kittle, Ayuk, Debo. We even have his name is escaping me right now. Jawan Jennings kind of making his way into this league. And no one was able to get the ball whatsoever. So just an overall flat performance, I think, honestly. And it'll be interesting to see what this team does in this offseason. Who's coming back, who's not. There's going to be a lot of change with this roster. There's just, like I said, there's only going to be about 33 players, I think, under contract. So you're going to have about 20 roster spots to fill. So it's definitely going to look different, this team next year. You know, you're going to bring back your Debos, your Bosa, your Kittle, Fred Warner. He'll be back. Manuel Mosley will be back. Ambry Thomas will be back. But the Niners need to do something in the defensive backfield. Bring in a corner, even if he's a veteran, an older veteran. Just someone to solidify that corner position. Ken Cal says Jimmy is gone next season. Yeah, pretty much. This was kind of his swan song, and he came up short. Texas Niner, Tarts dropped interception. Yeah, this is going to haunt us all offseason. That changes the game if he picks that. Now, I say that, and who knows if we would have scored, but I mean, I forget where it was on the field, if it was like midfield when it happened, but yeah, pretty sad. I don't understand how you could drop that. I don't know if it hit him in the helmet or whatever. So yeah, pretty lame. Oh, sorry. Freak Lore says there were 3 delay of game calls that never happened on the Rams. Yeah, I saw that too. It's a little different though sometimes in the stadium, the way that those work. Ours was blatant, but theirs was kind of like right there. So hold on, guys. I got a Blackie user. There we go. Texas Niner says, so upsetting of a loss. I think even with how bad our defense played, we still played well enough to be up 17-7. Should have won. What the heck happened in those final 2 drives? Lack of pass protection and just Jimmy coming up small. I don't know what his issue is with getting balls batted down constantly. I just don't get it. I don't know if he doesn't drop far enough in the pocket to give himself a little bit more of a throwing view, but he consistently gets passes batted down. It's aggravating to watch. Texas Niner. Oh, it would have been like a punt, but still sucks. Yeah, definitely. Al Hopkins says Kyle cost us the game. Such bad play calling, and our defense calling had our defense of the what? Kyle cost us the game. Such bad play calling had our defense off the field on the field all game. Yeah, defense was definitely on the field all game. I see what you're saying. Brick Lavish says it will be known as the Jaquaski drop. Yeah, definitely. We had the punt block last week that was known as the block if we would have won the Super Bowl. But all that doesn't matter now. Yeah, definitely. Why does Kyle never get any blame? It's because Kyle deflects to his players. Kyle deserves just as much to blame in this game as everybody else. I definitely agree. Al Hopkins says, "Does everyone not see it's clearly Kyle Shanahan?" It's a mix of everybody. It's Kyle. It's D'Amico had a bad play calling on defense. He never adjusted. I mean, they were literally killing us. We were rushing for the whole game. So, yeah, I'm beyond disappointed in this one. Texas Niner says, "Yep, defense was all on the field all game." Yep. Karthik, how you doing? He says, "Hi, Aaron. I'm not going to ask how you're feeling because I already know you are." How you're feeling? Yeah, this is probably one of my most unenthusiastic live streams I've ever had. I don't really have a ton of topics. I didn't do like research or whatever where I come on here and I fill up an hour's worth of time. I'm as without words as you guys are. It's a pit in my stomach type of game. I mean, in the end of the day, it's still a game, guys, and our lives still go on. That's what my dad always told me. He said at the end of the day, they get paid, you don't. So move on with your life. But this season felt like a special season. Just the way we started and just how our defense played. But there were many times watching this year where I felt eventually things could catch up with us, and it did in this game. You know what I mean? This was one of those things where I think this team went as far as they could go with the way that they're currently constructed, and they did the best they could. Um, we can second guess everything at this point, guys, but the fact of the matter is the game's over. We lost, and the Rams and the Bengals are playing in the Super Bowl. So it is what it is. Gavin Yang says, I was crying when they lost. I haven't cried in a long time. Back in the 1997-98 year, that was like the last, I think, Steve Young. We had the Packers in San Francisco NFC Championship game. It was a rainy game, and we lost that game. And I remember being so distraught after the game and crying. And my dad was like, "Are you freaking crying after a game?" I'm like, "Yeah." Yeah, he gave me a scolding about crying after football games. So, I try not to do it as much now, but yeah. Karthik says, Aaron, did you see OBJ and Debo's heartbreaking reaction after they lost, hugging and crying with each other, even though opposite sides? Yeah. Say what you want about Odell Beckham Jr. I mean, he's a cancer. He's this, he's that. The fact of the matter is he made plays. He came up big in this game, and he's going to have a chance to win a championship, something I don't think he ever would have been able to do in Cleveland. So, like I said, I'm not big fans of teams that construct themselves through free agency and don't draft like the Rams. Like they give up all their draft picks. Fact of the matter is they won and they're in there and we're not. So I'm kind of pulling for the Bengals because I have a old coworker that is a Bengals fan, and she's been a Bengals fan longer than I've been alive, and they've never won. So kind of rooting for them, but wouldn't be surprised if the Rams. Listen, the Rams constructed this team to win now. So anything less than that would be considered a disappointment. So the Rams are really close to achieving the goal that they set out by building a team strictly through free agency, not really drafting. So say what you want. I mean, I guess there's more than one way to skin a cat, but I still don't agree with it. But the fact of the matter is they won, we didn't, and they're moving on. Or they won and we didn't. So Niner faithful. I was frozen holding back tears after Jimmy's interception. Yeah. It's tough. It's tough. I don't know, guys. I feel like after the Super Bowl loss, I kind of became a little bit numb after games. But yeah, I'm definitely disappointed for sure. I bet Tart is crushed. Kyle called the game scared, and this is the result. We can't blame Jimmy for that last minute. Go Bengals. I like Stafford, but I don't like to buy a championship. Yes, Luke and me agree on this one. And I'm not a big Jimmy fan, but Jimmy didn't have any time. These last two drives, the Niners literally had no time. But it really doesn't matter at this point. And like Luke said, he doesn't agree with the whole buying championship approach. I don't either. I think it's lame. The whole like celebrities in the crowd kind of crap is also something that really gets under my skin. But they still won, we didn't, so it is what it is. Kamal 7 Mile Dog says I'm a Detroit Lions fan. I got to ride with Matthew. Yeah, you absolutely. Absolutely. I would have been the same way if, say, someone like Alex Smith got to a Super Bowl and had a chance to win it. I would have totally rooted for Alex. So I understand that. Corey Davis being the bigger man more than I am says congratulations to the Rams. Yeah, still not happy about the fact that they buy their team, but whatever. You're right. You're a better man than me. Congratulations to them. Gotta go as a Rams fan. I honestly say without San Francisco, we aren't in the Super Bowl. And I don't mean that because of this game. Rams couldn't win in Green Bay. Hey man, it is what it is. I mean, like I said, I don't really get down with teams that build their team the way the Rams do. But the fact of the matter is they play better in us than this game, and we found a way to make we couldn't get pressure on the quarterback and we couldn't protect our quarterback. So if you lose at the line of scrimmage in football, you're going to lose a game. And the Rams won the game at the line of scrimmage and we didn't. Simple as that. People did not expect us to make it there. Yeah, still sucks though. Still sucks. Fun fact, the Rams have to be in the away team locker room and cannot practice at the stadium as the away team. They have to stay in a hotel. Really? That is interesting. You think their fans actually show up? No offense to Rams fans. I'm being sarcastic here, but do you think Rams fans sell out this game and actually show up at their own stadium? Going to be interesting to see the Bengals O-line versus the Rams D-line. Yeah, the Rams D-line is pretty special. Pretty special. Bengals are going to have to do some work with pass protection because they've been pretty bad. But listen, the Bengals went into Kansas City and beat the Chiefs in their place. I don't know if you guys watched that game, but Arrowhead was jumping. You got to have some serious stones to clutch up in a place like Arrowhead and play well because that is pressure times 1,000. You know what I mean? So no, they won't come, but most fans don't go to the Super Bowl. On average, it's about 30% fans and the rest are bigwigs. True. How's that lame? Isn't that kind of lame though to think about that football fan 28 that like your team makes the Super Bowl and you don't even have the freaking wherewithal to show up and actually be in the stadium? I don't know. Luke Luna says, Aaron, I was bummed. Hurt my vocal cords, but I was on the presser. I was reading fans' comments and I went to sad soldier instantly. Fans need to do better. Absolutely weak. Yeah. I was pretty bullish on the Niners on Twitter, Luke, but it really wasn't like I didn't really get on Jimmy much on Twitter. Me, it was just the pass defense and just bad decisions and stuff. So I was being pretty pissy on Twitter myself, but what's the point of going and watching the team presser on the website? It's not going to change anything. So yeah, I don't put myself through watching press conferences after the Super Bowl. That was depressing. So Football Fan 2080 says Rams fans are trash. I'll admit it myself. Both our teams threw away so many missed opportunities for both teams. That drop touchdown and a pick for the Rams, the drop pick and the late hit. Yeah. I'm kind of numb right now after this one, to be honest with you, about just everything. I'm numb. Like I said, props to the teams that are in the Super Bowl. Part of me thought it was a long shot that we could get it into the Super Bowl this year. I thought the Rams game would be tough. The live stream that I did with the other guys, we were talking about how the law of averages wasn't going to catch up. And I said it could. But I felt that we had just played so well against the Rams and Jimmy played so well against the Rams that maybe it wouldn't matter, right? Of course it matters in this game. Of course it matters. Olmec says Ramsey's drop pick before that. Yeah, I forgot about that. Jimmy had a couple head scratchers in this game. Jimmy just doesn't have the arm to make those kind of circus throws. You know what I mean? You see Mahomes running around and I don't know about you guys, but I get really pissed off watching him just run in circles, run in circles, run in circles, and then throw some moonshot, and then it gets caught for a touchdown. So when I see Jimmy trying to be on the move, it's almost kind of funny because he's just so unathletic compared to a guy like Mahomes or Watson or Russell Wilson. Uh, yeah, I think D'Amico Ryans should have mixed things up in this game. The Niners literally ran 4 defensive linemen and dropped the rest all game. So I guess that was the part that really breaks my heart is the fact that the Niners just could not get home against the pass or against the Rams offensive line. Kamal 7 Mile Dog says, "Damn, bro, you look heartbroken. Just so you know, I subscribed to your channel because I like the 49ers this year. I appreciate that. I am heartbroken. Listen, Kamal, the Niners, the last time they were in the Super Bowl, I was 15. Or won the Super Bowl, excuse me. I was 15. I'm 42, so sucks. And my nephew is 26 going on 27 years old, okay? And he's only seen 2 losses. He's never witnessed a victory. So there's so much heartbreak with him and me as fans together, as nephew and uncle. We haven't together experienced that victory yet. So it's tough. Like he called me after the divisional playoff game and we were excited. And so I know he's just as disappointed as I am after this game. I'll probably hear from him this week. But yeah, it was a tough one. Texas Niner says, Luke, I agree. I'm upset, but being in the NFC Championship game is sweet. We need a better line. I was pulling for Brunskill all year, but of course, last play of the season, him getting blown up. Yeah. It's funny that in the Super Bowl, we had the exact same issues with our offensive line, not being able to pass protect for Jimmy. And it kills us again in this championship game. Same issues, interior rush, just not being able to hold up against the rush. So, how's it going, 49ers Ultimate Report? He said, sup, man, this hurts. I know you're critical of Jimmy G, but Jimmy was average and he was doing some good things. But he will be remembered with his errors. The defense also played bad. Yeah. Jimmy wasn't horrendous in this game, but he didn't do anything that was, game changing either. So, how is Cup open on 6 third downs? Yeah, the Niners' third down defense was absolutely pathetic. Pathetic. You get a team into that many third downs and you can't get off the field. You don't deserve to win, guys. You can't. I mean, dude, every time they got a third down, I'm like, they're going to get the first down. And I wasn't trying to be negative, but that's just how I was feeling. Guess what? I'm 49. Dan Marino was my all-time favorite quarterback who beat him. I'm still a Joe Montana guy, but, props to Brady. I don't know if he's actually going to retire, but if he does, props to him. Jimmy is Freak Lore says Jimmy is that messed up shopping cart wheel that spins around and doesn't quite work right. Hey, that's some of the nicest insults I've heard. I've heard worse. So that's pretty funny, though. I'm not going to lie. My cousin's treating me like we ain't family. Dude is talking so much shit for no reason. Dude is bonkers. 6-1, still own LA. I'm so glad I don't have family members that are fans of opposite teams. I feel for you, Silent Steph, for sure. I went from bad soldier in defense instantly. The way Niners fans were talking about human beings, but we're talking humans, but human beings that play for us. I can't believe people behind keyboards. Yeah. I never attack people personally, Luke. I'll say that guy sucks or isn't good or choked. But to personally attack somebody, like people were putting like fake death announcements about Debo and stuff on Twitter the last couple weeks, that's just low. Zav Dab says, y'all looking like the Cowboys in the fourth quarter. Yeah. I have nothing to say. 11 of 19. Are you referring to the third down? Yeah, the Rams killed us on third down. It was just pathetic. It was Tennessee all over again. Yeah. Yep. Niners lost the game when they didn't go for it on 4th and 2. Too many third down conversions by the Rams. Yeah, Niners lack super aggressiveness. Kyle's just not an aggressive coach. Kyle plays safe. You're never going to win playing safe. So, like I said, props to the Rams. They made plays when it counted, and pass rush matters, offensive line matters, and those are two things that we didn't have in this game. Don Suave says Debo went cold. No, they just stopped throwing the ball to him. Scott Davidson with a $5 super chat. He says, remember, guys, Niners will have Jimmy's $25 million next year. Could have an even better team next year. Yeah, true. It's just, Scott, I again, thank you for the super chat. I just think with the Niners, when you start a young quarterback, there's going to be some growing pains next year. So I was hoping we'd pull it off for the simple fact that, young quarterbacks are going to struggle and the kid's going to struggle next year. I have no doubt in my mind that he's going to have a couple games where we're going to be like, is this guy really the third pick in the draft? And then he'll do some stuff that'll make us be like, oh, we have a future with him. It's just how it works with these young quarterbacks. So that's why I was pulling so hard for us to win it this year. Luke Luna says, I was feeling that way, Aaron, but I kept thinking this defense will make something happen. But they got those field goals heartbreaking. Yeah. Luke, we played well all year on defense, but, in the end, our pass rush was just non-existent in this game. And Rams got good wide receivers, bro. And we have average to below average corners. So you mix that together in a cup and you get what happened. Kamal 7 Mile Dog says, is Matt Stafford always reminding me of Dan Marino? Be your front Detroit. What? Being from is. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Unless we get Tom Brady. Not going to happen, guys. Let it go. I think Tom wants to play San Francisco before retiring. Hey, if it actually happened, y'all know I would be a fan of it. Luke Luna would definitely be a fan of it. But, guys, let go of the dream. It's not going to happen. If it does, I'll be the first to come on here and be like, I was wrong, about the altar of Tom Brady, but I think he's done. I actually felt we lost the game in the first half. 22 minutes to 8 minutes time of possession. No game flow. I knew the defense would wear down. You know what? You were right about that. The Niners defense was on the field all first half. All first half. I felt like when the offense get on the field, the offense was just like out of it, like not in the game flow. Like you said, it was just Niners couldn't get them off on the field on third down. You can't win on third down. You're not winning the game. Don Suave says Bengals have $56 million in cap space. Yeah, the Bengals are going to be a good team for a while. Their quarterback is ballsy, cocky bastard, but he's good. So props to them. We never doubled Cup once. No bracket one time. They should have used Debo out of the backfield as a receiver. Yeah. Nathan Dickey says no ball movement. Yeah, the ball. We couldn't run the ball at all in this game, at all, and they forced us to pass, and we're just not able to. We're just not. Our offensive line isn't built for it. Trent Williams was playing hobbled. He's another guy that I feel real bad for. Him and Laken Tomlinson pretty much held it down, but the rest of that offensive line, especially from right guard and right tackle, they cost us this game. So Kyle went and let Jimmy play. If he let him play, he would have had more success running, but he asked Jimmy to do it only to save drives, which made each throw harder. He called the game scared. I agree. He put Jimmy in kind of unwinnable situations. It's just sad though, Luke, when you see Stafford drop deep in the pocket, hit his back foot, and hit those deep comebacks or deep digs, all those really nice throws to their receivers. And he had all the time in the world to do it. So props to their offensive line. Kamal 7 Miles says, I honestly thought the 49ers were going to run it down the Rams' throat all day. Yeah, me too. I thought that was the only way you could win this game is by playing smash mouth, but Rams shut down the run. Peace out, brother. Texas Niners says, thanks for the content, Aaron. Got to work early. Niners for life. Yep. You know it. Thank you. Thanks for coming in. Couldn't have said it better myself. Great season, Niners. Far exceeded my expectations this season. Yeah. Still hurts, though. Still hurts, guys. We have a lot to look for, though, in this offseason. We got a lot of, like I said, we got a lot of roster things that have to take place. It's just a matter of time before we find out if Jimmy's coming back. I don't think he is. The construction of this team is going to change. It's been a good run for the time we've had certain players on this team, but I just think that this current makeup of the team is not going to be what we see next year. So sad that they couldn't get it done. You wonder if a guy like Tard is coming back. D Ford, forget him. He's gone. Niners will have some questions on guys like Arden Key and stuff like that, and DJ Jones. Try not to be too big of a fan in the moment and say, well, they didn't play well in this game, so don't bring them back. They played well all season, some of those guys. So Niners are going to have some decisions. Oh, where is he? Luke Luna says, could have called more plays like the pass to Ayuk. Jimmy was high volume thrower in college. That just wouldn't do it. We have weapons everywhere. Yeah. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. Oops, sorry, guys. Addison Harmon says, I'm 17 years of age. I was hoping during my senior year of high school I would have seen the Niners win the Super Bowl before adulthood. Not sadly, it's yeah, I know. It happened to my freshman year in high school, and it's been nothing ever since. So I feel for you. Definitely. What's your opinion on bringing back Mostert? I wouldn't do it unless he wants to come back for a cheap deal. He's injury prone, and the Niners have other roster obligations that they have. If he wants to come back on a cheap deal or an incentive based deal, then yeah, let's do it. Aaron, I agree with you, brother. I think we search heavy for a stud O lineman in free agency, a pass blocking starter, or a Banks may be developed. He didn't allow a sack in 400 plus snaps, and good statistics there, Luke. I did not know that. That's pretty fantastic. How many times do we play action this game? I didn't see much of it today. I thought we were so worried about the run that they would be vulnerable to it. That's a good point. Fable. I didn't see much play action at all this game. At all. So definitely a good point. Do you think they will? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I answered that. I just don't see it. Yes, and the same thing with Verrett. I mean, if he comes back on a deal that is team friendly, then maybe. But the Niners Simonson really have to start kind of building a team away from injury prone guys. You know what I mean? You bring him in as extra pieces, but you don't build the core of your roster with guys that can't stay healthy. Because the Niners have had that problem for years, and they're starting to kind of move away from it. So if a guy like Verrett or Mostert want to play next year, got to take a team cheap minimum deal. If they're asking for anything more than that, I'd say no. He's like, yeah, we were going empty backfields and 5-step drops. Yeah, I just don't understand. I don't know what it is with Kyle, but it's like he overthinks everything in clutch situations. So, hold on, guys. Trying to block these spammers in here. Addison says, what is it with us? Oh, where'd it go? What is it with us in 10-point leads? I wish I knew, man. I wish I knew. Belter Hernandez says, easy win by the Rams. I don't know if that was easy. I don't know if that was easy. I mean, you built your team off of free agency, so you kind of should win. So, good luck against the Bengals in 2 weeks. If you guys win, congrats. But when you build your team the way you guys do, I mean, you kind of have to win. So, some teams build through the draft, like you should, and other teams build through free agency, and all the pressure's on them because when you sign all the best players to huge contracts, you only have so long before the team implodes. So you kind of should win. So Mike Lowry says, keep telling people Kyle gets real small when it gets tight. Yeah, I agree. D says, Addison Harmon, I'm literally in your exact situation. Senior year, hoping we could finally get it done, and we don't. I'm sorry, guys. That sucks. I feel this team still underestimate Cooper Kupp and how great he really is. Yeah, no answers. No answers. No bracketing, no nothing. Just garbage pass defense. Randy says, let's start Trey Lance here. Well, I don't think they have much of a choice on that one, Randy. So we got about 7 months till football is back. So let's all relax for a bit and get over this season. Luke Luna says, go Bengals 100%. Absolutely. Don Emilio says, why we can't use Kittle like Kelsey in Kansas City? Because we don't have Mahomes at quarterback. And we also don't have a guy like Tyreek Hill who's going to stretch coverage. We're not built like them. They have a guy that literally stretches and takes the coverage with him deep. So he opens up the middle of the field. So Kelsey's usually wide open. So we don't have that kind of threat on the outside to take people off of us like that. So Fable says, I hope Trey Lance goes and works with Tom House. Yeah, definitely somebody to work on his mechanics, but not really worried about next year right now, guys. I'm trying to absorb what happened this year, but I understand you guys are commenting and already kind of turning your attention to next year. I totally get that. Cup and OBJ tore our secondary up. Yes, they did. Hey, at least I got to see the Giants win 3 World Series. That's true. It's true. Silly fun guy says, go Rams. I love your name, by the way. Yeah, your team's in the dance, man. One day, I hope to see the Detroit Lions make it this far in the playoffs. So congratulations, 49ers, on a great season. Have a good night, brother. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, definitely props to. Oh, what did I miss? Luke liked that comment, by the way. Mike Lowry, people blaming our secondary. It's been bad all season. So that's the Not the case. The case is the genius behind the offense was a no-show when it mattered. Nah, a lot of people are going to say Kyle came up small in this game, and you are not lying on that one. But yeah, the secondary's been bad all year. Pass rush definitely covered it up. So Niners are going to have to make some decisions in the secondary for sure. Jeremy Deitzel says Jimmy will get the blame, but that drop interception, then at 30, and then 30-yard pass and personal foul to OBJ killed us. Yep, our secondary got killed. I bet we bring back Verrett and call our secondary good. I hope you're wrong. I hope you're wrong. Also, what's with our D giving up huge personal fouls in the lack of discipline, man. That's a sign of a bad team or a team that doesn't deserve to win, as guys that freaking lose their mind late in games and give away yards. I totally agree. Not trying to think ahead, but what teams do you think realistically might want Jimmy Garoppolo? Redskins, Saints, Steelers. We'll see. We'll see if he has some value. John Reed, a very nice season, but it still hurts. Agreed. Well, guys, I think I'm going to go. Props to the Niners for having a good season. It's unfortunate that we couldn't find a way to figure this thing out and win it. Like I said, props to the Rams. Like, I don't agree how they build their team, and I don't agree with a lot of things about the LA Rams, but the fact of the matter is that they were the better team. So props to them. Props to the Cincinnati Bengals for getting it done against the Chiefs in their own house. I'm going to go, guys. I'm pretty down. I'll be okay. But yeah, I'm definitely down. But not my best live stream by far. Definitely kind of out of it. So I appreciate you guys sticking with me. Luke Luna, thanks for the $2 super chat. I will cheer up. John Reed, yeah. Smash the like button if you guys like what you hear. Like I said, it wasn't one of my better live streams. I'm kind of down. So thanks, everybody. It's been a nice one. Everybody keep your heads up, including myself. And hopefully, the season will come soon enough, and we'll have some good things to cheer about next year with Trey Lance taking over. And, maybe we address some things in the draft and free agency, and we come back and we're even better next year. So everybody have a good night. Thanks, everybody, for popping in here. And as usual, as I always say, see you guys on the flip side. Take care. Bye, everyone.